What is going on, everybody? Zach RC here. Welcome back to the channel and welcome along to episode number 32 and for the foreseeable future, the final episode of the F1 22 Road to GOAT Career Mode series for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, the finale of Season 2. If you guys did miss the last episode, make sure to go check that one out before you see this one, and make sure to click on the playlist in the top right hand corner of your screen to get yourself caught up on all the episodes coming into today, so over the entirety of Season 1 and Season 2. Here we go then, final race of the season, everything on the line apart from the championships which have been wrapped up, so not much at stake there. Sainz winning the title last time out in Bahrain. He leads George Russell and Sergio Perez in the standings as of right now, and Ferrari having wrapped up the Constructors' Championship as well in their first season with Alfa Romeo. We're starting back outside of the top 10 this time around, once again taking a grid penalty and falling down the field as a result, but thanks to those cars who also took penalties around us, it has been minimised to some extent. In terms of our race today, 29 laps of the Yas Marina circuit starting from back in P13, and we'll see what we're looking at the strategy today. We're looking at a one-stop as usual. I'm going to take a bit of a risk today. Normally we go a lap either earlier or later than the usual requirement for pit stops. We're going to put a lap earlier than that. We'll go 2 laps earlier than what's recommended to us, lap 11, and hopefully that'll try and get us a bit further out in front. This could be a tactical masterstroke here. We'll have to wait and see just what goes on. So push on now into the formation laps for the last race of the season. I do want to say for a moment, thank you guys so much for watching Season 2 and those of you who are here for Season 1 as well. I really do appreciate it and I hope you enjoyed the series. And make sure to like, share and subscribe before we jump into F1 23 content next week. As the last 2 cars take their place on the grid, Guan Yu Zhou and Max Verstappen, who once again starts dead last. No more talking, it's time for action. 5 red lights for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, the final race of Season 2. And it's lights out, foot to the floor, go, go, go. Decent getaway compared to those around us. Schumacher and Stroll get a good run towards that first corner. Going to try and come on from both of them. They're going to take it 3 wide into that first corner. Outbreak both of them. Stroll down on the inside. Schumacher on the outside. Stroll backs off. Schumacher still there as we go through turn number 2. Now he falls away. We're getting seriously shuffled back behind the 2 AlphaTauri to Gasly and Snow as he charges through turn number 3. Schumacher once again on our inside. Get clear of him. We're going to try and move to the inside of Gasly. Bit of contact there. We tap the back of his AlphaTauri. Lucky to get away with no damage. Up the inside of both of the Fines-based cars. And up into P11 now, taking Vettel off for P10. Vettel on a terrible exit there. We've taken away the 10th spot now as well. So just like that, up into the points this early on in Abu Dhabi. Gasly with a good run behind us. Try and go for a move towards turn number 6. It's going to be very close. Let's try and take Bottas if we can. Go late on the brakes towards the corner. We'll get inside of him. There goes Gasly up our inside, making it 3 abreast into the corner. Very, very tight stuff there. On the exit, we see the moment taking away past Gasly and passing Bottas on the exit as well. So fantastic stuff. We charge towards turn number 9. A great start to this Grand Prix from P13 up to P9 now. So already in the points paying places. And now we get to work on chasing our old teammate. Has been our teammate in the season now, Alexander Albon in the BMW Williams. It's been a successful year for the Williams team. They've carried on the success from Season 1. They've stuck down the table a little bit, but still a good first year for them with BMW. We're going to try and pile on the misery for them here. We'll look to the outside of Albon if we can, going into the braking zone. He'll be last on the stoppers. Albon's still there on our inside, coming very close to contact with Ricciardo. Going to sweep through on the inside. Over the chicane, got over the sausage curve a bit there, so perhaps forced him out a bit too much. We're up into P8 now, no contact made with him, so everything all fair in that respect. And we'll start chasing down Daniel Ricciardo now. Of course, we were chasing a couple of races ago in the United States. It's 2 rounds ago at this point. So Ricciardo now that's going to be a threat to our DRS, which we have deployed for the first time tonight on lap number 3. Closing in, but he's got DRS of our teammate Esteban Ocon as we go towards turn number 6 once again. Closing in, not close to go for a move just yet. Might try out around the outside, that with the inside for turn number 7. On the exit, good stuff. Getting clear of the Honey Badger and moving up into P7. We start chasing down our teammate Ocon, who we've definitely had to run off so far this year. And we're going to try and close down and try and take away P6 before moving on. Challenge the top 5. Purple second sector there. Very nice indeed. On to lap number 4. Once again closing on Ocon with the DRS deploy as we charge towards turn 6. The spot for the most part overtakes so far today. Up the inside of the Frenchman into the corner. Contact. A little bit of wheel bang in there. Up the inside, make sure to go over that curb so as to not impact Ocon too much. Ricciardo could try and threaten Ocon from behind on the exit. We've taken away the place from him, so we're up into P6 now. We start getting to work on chasing down the top 5 with 2 Ferraris and pulled away massively so far here. Going quite a bit more now to lap number 10 of this race. We have closed down Lewis Hamilton. He's the last of those cars in this little train, this 3-car train. Up front of him, Lando Norris and Sergio Perez going side by side through turn number 9 on the exit. Trying to close in on our fellow compatriot as we charge through the 3rd sector, making our way towards the hotel section of the course. Perez and Norris still side by side here, both backing each other up. Neither one of them giving an inch. It's fantastic racing, and Norris squeezes past Perez down the inside and shuffles back us and Hamilton. But we're going to close in massively on them thanks to their squabble. So now we're right behind them in an attempt to try and move them and take places. We're going to the outside of Hamilton, no room there, and we get met with a back left tyre on that Silver Arrow as we charge on to lap number 11 now. This is where our pit window comes into place. This is where things will get really crucial for us. continue on to chase down Hamilton towards turn 6. Again, looking at another overtake. And look to the outside, he leaves enough room. We'll go for it here. Last on the break. He's going to be very, very close. Almost contact with Perez Hamilton on the outside for turn 6, on the inside for turn 7, and we are now up another position and chasing down the race leader. So I'm going to have to cut the tap off here and come into the pit lane for our first and only pit stop of the race, and what should be our final pit stop of the season and in this series so far. So coming in now, looking for the optimal turn, and as usual, no one else pitting in behind us. That's the benefit of pitting 2 laps earlier than what was intended. Into the pit lane, become hard tyres being equipped, and 2.3 seconds stop. That's on the fast side, so I'm quite pleased with what the Alpine crew have done for us once again here. Our pit crews have served us phenomenally in this series, both at Williams and at Alpine. We're going to rejoin around P15 by looks of things. We'll see where Stroll and Joe come out. We might come out just in front of them. So side by side towards turn 2 and 3 on the exit of the pit lane. Here we come now, looking for a strong push out of the pits and in front of Stroll and Joe as well, who could try and threaten us here going towards turn 5, but no luck. Stroll doesn't get enough of a run to go for it. End lap number 13 now, start lap 14. And several cars to pit lane, but Vettel now our next target, chasing him as we go into turn number 1. Let's try and find a way around him as best we can. We'll have to wait to the end of the lap before we can actually try and take him on. We are closing in on him rapidly here, and I dare say we'll get around him on this next lap, closing all the time. Several cars pitted, so back up to P7 now, and we push on to the start lap number 15 of this race. And here come the race leaders into the pit lane. Sainz, Perez, Norris, all in the pits. We gain time on Hamilton and Leclerc. Could we gain on Sainz as well? We've managed to get around both Perez and Norris in the pit lane. It's going to be very tight here. We could potentially move up into second place. So we can take the lead of this Grand Prix. Where is Sainz going at the pit lane? There he is. And this tactical masterstroke has worked to absolute perfection here in the pit lane, ladies and gentlemen. Because now we're up into second place. We've managed to bypass both Perez and Norris, as well as getting away from Hamilton too. And now all of a sudden we find ourselves chasing the new world champion, Carlos Sainz, in the second half of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. What a genius move that was, to pit 2 laps earlier than expected. The game originally asked us to in the early pit strategy. The crew gave us pre-race, but closing in on Sainz massively now. All of a sudden we have a chance to take our second career win this season, our second of the season, and the second in our career as F1 drivers here in the Alpine team. So on to lap number 21 here. We're a few laps forward, unable to challenge Sainz just yet. We are closing in massively, sticking within that 1 second range. That's what matters right now. If we can keep close to Sainz, I dare say we can try and go for a move, maybe even this lap. Go look at it, go look to the inside. No point going late on the brakes there, too much of a risk. But let's try and stick behind him and get DRS out of turn 7 and charging through turns 8 and 9. And now looking, DRS deployed on our Alpine. The race for the lead is well and truly on here, ladies and gentlemen. Now we're off to the races, looking to the outside of the Spaniard, going towards turn number 9, very tight into the left-hander. It looks like we've got it in front, but it's still side by side, half a car length in front on the Ferrari off the corner, side by side. We're going to come away with the lead here. Sainz gets loose out of turn 9, and we move into the top spot once again. We lead a Formula 1 Grand Prix, leading here in Abu Dhabi, with just 8 more laps to go in this race, but Sainz right there behind us, not willing to give up. We're going to make a move the inside, going into turn 6, the very next lap number 22, and he's looking to the inside. We've got a bit too deep there, way too deep, and Sainz takes full advantage of our poor entry, and now an exit. He's just about in front of us there, so we'll get DRS down this next straight. That's hugely helpful for us. Backing off that little bit has helped us massively here. Back to the inside of the Spaniard, charging towards turn 9 once again. This time, again, we've got the run, but we're on the inside this time around. We've managed to get clear of him before the corner, so no threats for us there. Going through turn 9 side by side, nothing like that. Sainz, again, another poor exit. That's why he's losing a lot of time on us here. On to lap number 23 of this Grand Prix, and Sainz is still all over us, not willing to give an inch up in this battle for the position. Of course, he's got the championship won, but he wants this race win as well. He wants to take victory in Abu Dhabi. Think back to last season, Leclerc won the title in Brazil, the penultimate round, and then went on to win here as well. Sainz is trying to repeat what his teammate did last season, and he's side by side with us here on the run towards 6. He used up DRS and his battery as we go into the corner. Very tight. Sainz has the edge, goes over the sausage curb, so we leave him a bit of room for him to go over it. And nice and smooth on the exit, move back up into P1, but Sainz again coming back us on the outside. This man is not giving up, ladies and gentlemen. He's still down the right hand side, and squeezing towards the wall as best we can without giving him any damage at all. Side by side, he's got the run, he's got the edge into turn 9, got to force him out a little bit on the outside, perhaps lifting a bit too much there, allowing Sainz, or forcing Sainz a bit wide there. So that's still up in P1, but Sainz threatening us all the way here. On top 24, Perez and the attack caught up, and Perez now in second place, and he's going to be our main threat over the rest of this Grand Prix. Sainz may have just had enough. Yellow flags behind us here in the exit at turn number 7. It looks like it could be one of the Red Bulls, one of the Alpines. It looks like it's not Verstappen. It's in fact Esteban Ocon who's retiring, and our teammate for the second time in 3 races out of the Grand Prix late on with an issue on the car. And that's an unfortunate end to the season for our teammate. Of course, we've had the run of him throughout 2023, and any hopes of him beating us today, which were probably extinguished since we passed him earlier on in the race, are now those hopes are going to be ended completely as Ricciardo and Verstappen go charging on through there. And Ocon, internal failure on the car, no smoke coming out of it, so he's out of the race unfortunately, and his season is over. On to lap 28 now, lap and a half to go, and we're still in control of this race, but Perez is all over us, not willing to give an inch here, not willing to give us any time at all to breathe. Here we go towards turn number 6. Perez about half second back, but closing in all the time. Look at the exit he got there, off of 7, and now charging through 8. DRS now deployed for the Mexican. He's going to be very, very close here. Here comes Checo to the inside, charging towards turn 9. Into the left-hander we go. Perez has the inside line, and Perez now takes the lead away from us here on lap 28 with just over a lap to go. All of a sudden, desperation starts to sink in, so we could now lose this victory. We've worked so hard to close in on signs of the lead, and now Perez has snatched it from us with just over one more lap left in the Grand Prix and the season, no less. Thank God there's no championship on the line, otherwise I'm getting really scared right now. Regardless, pushing on to the final lap of this Grand Prix, the final lap of the season, the final lap of this series for the foreseeable future. Into the last corner we come. One more lap to go. This is the bell lap here in Abu Dhabi. Perez in the lead. We're going to try and close him down as best we can. We haven't got much battery left, so that could be a trouble for us. We're using it right now to try and stay with him as best we can, but Perez just too quick for us right now. That straight line speed on that Red Bull really, really helping him out right now. Sainz is behind us. He could still threaten us for second place. We could end up finishing third today. Hamilton, Norris, no threat behind as we go towards turn number 5. Too far back to go for a dive bomb. Way too far back. Not even going to attempt trying that. Let's try and use our DRS here, see how good it is for us. Perhaps trying to move towards turn 9 where he got us about a lap ago at this point. DRS deployed, and what's left of our battery is being used as it stands. We're not getting anything on Perez. Perez, if anything, is almost pulling away. We are closing, but it's not enough right now. We're only getting about half a tenth there as we go into turn number 6. I'm way too wide over the curb there, completely avoiding the curb more or less, and over the sausage curb a little bit. That won't help us at all here. Perez with a better exit, pulling away. He's up to 6 tenths now. Here comes Sainz, trying to fit us for second place. All of a sudden, this race victory has been snatched from our grasp here. Sainz might look to the inside, going to stay in line as he goes into turn 9. Trying to close as much time as we can here on the Mexican Sergio Perez, but as of right now it looks like this race win is his, and that's so frustrating after a race we worked so hard to move into the lead for. We started back in P13 after that grid penalty, and we could have won from there perhaps. It could have been so brilliant, but Perez has this one in the bag now, short of anything going wrong in these final 2 corners. He's going to come away with the victory, and we're going to come through for P2, which despite it not being the win we would have wanted, is still absolutely fantastic way to cap off Season 2 and the F1 22 Road to GOAT career mode.
Well, that's it. What a season. Great work this year. Really great work. It's been hard at times, but we've come through it together. Well done.
That's it then. They've taken the win here as we wrap up another fantastic Formula 1 season. Tell me, Ant, how do you think they were able to deliver such an incredible result today?
I think it was clear what the main contributing factor out on track was: speed. I know it sounds like an awfully reductive statement, but fast cars win races, and we saw that today with our winner.
Red Bull put up an outstanding fight for the front position today, and it's great to see it paid off for them. They do so much for the sports that you can't help but be delighted by today's race win.
Well, I must say, I'm not overly delighted with the fact we lost the race like that, with just a lap and a half left in it, but Perez beat us fair and square here, wins the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. We come home in second and Sainz in third place. 3 different teams on the podium to cap things off here. It's been a fantastic season for us. Several podiums, a win in Belgium, and one last podium is a good way to cap it off. Perez on top, the second race in a row, discounting Leclerc's issue in the last race. But Perez on top to close things out this season.
Let's focus on the driver of the day, Anthony Davidson. Who do you pick?
I have to give it to Cohen. They fought so hard and had incredible pace at times, so I don't think anyone else did a better job today.
So then, Ferrari have now moved out of sight and out of reach. It's another triumph for the Italian team as they claim the World Constructors' Championship. Well, what an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.
Let's have a look at your final results for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Sergio Perez wins the race, we come home in second. Sainz takes away third from the pole. Hamilton in fourth. Norris takes home fifth in the end. Leclerc sixth. Poor day for him. The strategy went wrong for him at Ferrari. A poor end to what's been a fine title defence, but it wasn't enough from the end. Verstappen home in seventh. Ricciardo in eighth. Gasly ninth. And our old teammate Alexander Albon swipes the final point from George Russell, who also has a poor end to the season with no points scored. There's your final point standings. Then Carlos Sainz wins the championship. Sergio Perez in the end comes home to finish in second after being nowhere all season. He's really pulled that back in these last couple of rounds. Russell finishes third. Norris fourth in the standings. Leclerc and Verstappen fifth and sixth. Not at all the season where they wanted to finish things off, but look how close it was between third and sixth. And we finished the season 8th in the championship, almost 100 points clear of Ocon, but not enough to catch Lewis Hamilton in the end. He really got the end of us there in these last couple of rounds. And we finished 5th in the Constructors' Championship. Ferrari win it once again. Red Bull 2nd, Mercedes 3rd, McLaren 4th, we're in 5th, AlphaTauri in 6th, Audi 7th in their first season in the sport, Williams in 8th, beating Haas for 9th, and Aston Martin only 5 points scored, all 5 of those scored by Vettel, both Stroll and Latifi failing to score over the course of this season. So all in all, that caps things off for the F1 22 Road to GOAT Driver Promoter Series. Guys, if you have been watching this series, no matter when you joined us for it, I do appreciate every single one of you who have tuned in, no matter how long it's been for. I do so much appreciate it. If you guys did make sure to like, share, and subscribe, then please do that. We're closing in on 1.1k subs, and we're going to see a lot more content from me. As we get to start F1 23 next week, we'll be doing Breaking Point and Career Mode as well to start things off. So I hope you guys are looking forward to all of that. And again, thank you guys so much for watching my content. I really do appreciate it. Have a good day, and goodbye.